one now. Okay. So KAIST, guys, today we're going to talk about KAIST a little bit. So it's a university, it's a high education institution in Korea. It's a really good, like high quality education. It's not in Seoul, even though it's in South Korea. It's in Daejeon. We're going to see that. It's not a very large university, and there are not that many scholarships. Like when I say every single scholarship in KAIST, it's not like dozens. It's just three, but all three of them are very very good scholarships. Kind of like quality over quantity, and like pretty much the same for the university and same for the scholarships. It's a very like high quality of education institute. Like they're doing very like pioneering cutting edge research on technology. For example, the last time I checked, like they were researching on electric cars that can recharge themselves while on the road. So like they're a very high research activity university institution in South Korea. So, and also we have a tutorial for if you want to apply to this university, how to apply to KAIST. We have the admission process here. You can get more information. We have the deadlines here, and well, usually South Korea does not have, like Korean universities they do not have very high tuition fees. So this is also kind of a little bit affordable, 5,000, but it can get quite pricey, about 20,000 up to 20,000. So yeah, again, three scholarships, and again, if you have any questions, you can just leave them here. Eamon, what would you want to say in general about KAIST, or in general about Korea? Actually, before you start, guys, if you are interested in studying in South Korea, one thing you can do is go to guides. We have country guides here, right? Click on view all, and then here choose study in Asia, study in South Korea, and we have a collection of guides, about like 20. We have a lot of guides here for all subjects, like higher education, pros and cons of education in South Korea, choosing a university, best universities, best programs, applying to a university, like complete guide to university applications in South Korea, documents and tests, language proficiency. For example, they have a test called TOPIK, test of proficiency in Korean, in which if you get a high level of score, a lot of Korean universities will give you tuition discounts. So financing your studies, how to study in Korea for free. We have videos on those too, scholarship opportunities, etc., etc. So like if you're interested in studying in Korea, go look this up. Other than that, Eamon, what would you want to say about like maybe in studying in Korea in general, or about KAIST in more specifically?
Yeah, so South Korea is up there with the greatest countries you can go to as an international student, just due to how many scholarships they offer to international students. I think the one thing that people need before they go to South Korea is learn Korean.
Yeah.
That's a must, and I have read a lot of stories of students who went to South Korea, and they all say the same thing. They say that they should have spent more time learning Korean before they went to South Korea, because even the signs outside are in Korean. So you can't rely on your English or any language you speak when you're walking on the street. So that's the one thing to keep in mind. And if you don't speak Korean, then you have to attend language courses, classes, which will take from your time and the time you could have spent doing something else, and time you could have saved just by learning Korean before going to South Korea. Although English is one accepted means of communication by universities, but outside university, you would definitely need to speak the language. The scholarships are quite generous, and some of them are given based on your language proficiency test. So if you have a good score in IELTS, TOEFL, or TOPIC, you will get a scholarship that can go up to 100% of the tuition fees, which is quite generous by many of these universities. Yeah, so other than that, I think I can only say positive things about studying in South Korea. It's not easy to get into any of these universities. They're quite competitive, even for domestic students, let alone international students. There are many universities with very demanding requirements when it comes to admission. So you have to keep that in mind. It's really not easy to go to university in South Korea. As I said, for students who grew up in South Korea, so they're quite competitive, even though they offer scholarships, but you need to earn them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that,
Mhm.
yeah, I think this is all I can tell you about South Korea.
Right. So Spestock says, bro, right now both sides in Korea of Korea in a terrible situation. Why would do a student want to study there? Yeah, I guess like that's hopefully a like not a permanent situation, just temporary situation. So yeah, like even if you apply right now, like because this whole thing is a very long term thing. Like if you want to study in South Korea next year, like you better start working on that today, like to learn like to learn the language, to get your education, like to get your grades and test scores up, etc., etc. So yeah, hopefully when anyone watching us here today actually comes to the point of going to South Korea, that situation will not be so terrible. Yeah. So Zolfa says, in general, if you have money, it's not difficult to study abroad or to get scholarships because to get partial or fully funded scholarships is not easy. Yeah, that is true. Yes, if you have enough money, if your family can kind of cover your expenses, they can support you. You can just like your only concern will be to get admitted to a university in another country. But if you don't have enough money, you'll have to look for scholarships, which are not that easy to find because there are a lot of people. But one thing about scholarships is that every year there are so much scholarships, like so much financial aid that goes to waste. Like nobody gets them because nobody knows about them. So like it's always really good to like spread information about financial aid, about scholarships, because even though most scholarships, like most very well-known scholarships, are very competitive, there are way more scholarships that are partial, that are smaller, and a lot of people don't really know about them. So nobody gets them, they just go to waste. So yeah, you're right, but also like a very astute student, very like a very well researching person can find scholarships. I think like it kind of increases your chance. So yeah, this is the university basically. Again, not very expensive, not very a large university. So the scholarships, we have 3 scholarships. One of them is for undergraduates. Let's go and see those. The first one is KAIST International Student Scholarship. The others are for graduates, KAIST Global Presidential Scholarship, and KAIST Scholarship is, for graduate students. So the first one, let's start with this one. KAIST International Student Scholarship, this is for undergraduates. It is full funding. There are no nationalities or subjects for this specific scholarship. As I said, like it covers a lot. 100% of your tuition fees. It gives you 350,000 South Korean wons, which is, let's see how much it does, how much it makes in US dollars. Oh, sorry, it's about 250, which will not, like I can clearly say, confidently say that it will not cover your expenses. You would still be short about like maybe $700, $800. let's say, you know what, let's say 600, 700, because you don't like, you're not going to live in Seoul, and Daejeon will be more affordable. So medical health insurance, it also covers that. Not a lot of scholarships cover medical insurance, by the way. There are no specific eligibility criteria. Just be an international bachelor student or applicant, South Korea, Korea Advanced Institute. And we have the application procedure here. We have a deadline here. We have made a video on that. And as you can see, this is a very popular scholarship from the fact that like there are 16 questions and 16 answers about this one specific scholarship. So if you want to get more information, you can just go to click here and go to the university's official page for this scholarship. Let's see this one. KAIST, I don't know why, but KAIST website takes a long time to load. I should have clicked earlier. So again, for a lot of scholarships, we have YouTube like videos on our YouTube channel. You can also watch them through here, right? Like this. We have other videos as well, like currently open scholarships or other live streams, etc. Yeah, okay. So this is, again, international student admission. Basically, you apply for the undergraduate programs. It covers, yeah, it's pretty much the same information: full tuition, living expenses, medical health insurance. So students must maintain a GPA over 2.7 out of 4.3 at KAIST after their freshman year. And I have to say, for a scholarship this generous, this comprehensive, 2.7 is not that extremely high of a GPA to maintain. Like usually you would have, I don't know, let's say 100% tuition fees coverage, and they would want you to maintain a GPA over 4 out of 4.3. So this, I think this is a very, very reasonable amount of GPA. Application period, same as admission application. There is no separate process for applying scholarship. Just check KAIST scholarship on the statement. So basically, if you really want to apply for this scholarship, what you do is you go to our page for this university, you watch our application tutorial, and in that application process, you will see in the tutorial, you just have to check KAIST scholarship during the application, and that's it. You have applied for this scholarship. All applications will be thoroughly and equally reviewed during the admission process. Upon being selected for admission, you will automatically be entitled to the KAIST scholarship. So yeah, keep that in mind. Again, this is a very, very, very generous scholarship. Ayman, do you want to say anything about this one?
I think your explanation was very comprehensive. It is quite the generous scholarship. The admission deadline is quite close for most of these.
Yeah.
So for those who are willing to apply for the scholarships at KAIST, I guess it's just high time to do that. Other than that, scholarships open the same time every year, so you should be able to apply next year if you just started
right
planning on doing it. So yeah, and if you haven't, you should start now, and then you could be able to apply this time next year.
Yeah, so these, like, the whole application and preparation process takes a lot of time, so keep that in mind if you're planning to apply for any scholarship, frankly. So okay, that was the first scholarship, and that's the only scholarship that they have for undergraduate students. Graduate scholarships, we have 2 of those. The first is KAIST Global Presidential Scholarship. Let's click on this one. You know what, I'll actually click on this one early so it will have time to load. So this is for masters and PhD. This also is full funding. Again, no nationalities or subjects. Like pretty much every subject in the university is accepted. It covers 100% tuition fee for 4 semesters. So even if you are PhD, it will only cover it for 4 semesters. and 1 million South Korean won's monthly financial aid for 4 semesters. So you have 4 semesters. You better get your degree in that period. So it's about $700. It's not. I think it's still not nearly enough to cover all of your expenses, but it's better than the other one. So it's kind of okay. Like if you get this, pretty much your only concern will be covering that a couple of $100 monthly. Like you won't have to worry about your tuition fees. Won't have to worry about majority of your living expenses. Just like a couple of $100 a month, and you can just focus on your education, which is, it should be the most important part of your education. But yeah, when you study abroad, yes, entering under master's or master's PhD integrated program. Okay. Right, hang on. So this is okay. We're gonna see that in a second. So we have the deadline here. Again, if you have any questions, you can just leave them here. Oh, hang on, actually, I open that. Wait, hang on. Okay, this is not how this page should be looking. Hang on a second. Okay. It doesn't. Okay, it didn't load the thing properly. So yeah, hang on a second. I get the link. No, why are you doing that? Hang on a second. Okay, so yeah, it's this one. KAIST Global Presidential Scholarship. This is the one. All right. Departments accepting applications, all departments except Global Technology Innovation Program, admission periods, all eligible requirements. So okay, so this is not for strictly speaking. This is not for masters and PhD. It's for masters and integrated PhD, right? Am I understanding that correctly, Eamon? What do you think?
Yes. So it's master's PhD integrated program. So together, as in it's a master's and.
So if you're doing an integrated program, they still cover the master's part of your education. So let's say this is normally given to master students, but you are doing it integrated, which means if you do not know, basically you do your master's and PhD at the same time. First, you have your lectures for masters, and then you don't write a master's thesis. Instead, you just move on to PhD lectures and then lessons, and then write your PhD dissertation, which is what I'm doing actually. So you can still apply for this scholarship for the master's period of your education. Again, it covers full tuition, a monthly stipend, and 1 million South Korean wons for 4 regular semester. Details, yeah, you can get more information here. No separate application is necessary. Only highly competitive applicants will be recommended by the department head. So your department head will recommend you, and you get the scholarship that way. So yeah, do you want to add anything about this one, Eamon? It's kind of still also very pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it does. It is straightforward. Just wanted to point out that in some countries, integrated master's PhD programs are just a 1 year of master's as your first year, and then 3 years of PhD as your second, third, fourth year, and not at the same time. So sometimes they just split them into 1 year of master's, then 3 years of PhD. So it's just a master's lead into a PhD, with master's being 1 year. Yes, but yes. It differs. For some, it's like your case. I think that's just one major thing to point out about this scholarship.
Hang on, no. In my situation too, it was 1 year. Maybe now that I remember, maybe in some countries you would also have to write a thesis in the end of your master's, or this covers your master's period, and then another year of your education. All right. So the
Um,
second scholarship for graduates, and the last one we'll see today, is KAIST scholarship for graduates. So this is, hang on, let me actually open the page. We recently made a video on this one. So this is for masters and PhD. Again, full funding, all nationalities, all subjects. You don't usually see this many full funding scholarships in a single university, and the admission deadline is December 23. So yeah, you don't have a lot of time. So it covers 100% of tuition fee for 4 semesters for masters, 8 semesters for PhD, 10 semesters for integrated applicants. So yeah, okay. Normal amount of time is just 2 semesters for masters. Basically, like we can surmise from this, you get 350,000 South Korean bonds, monthly financial aid for MS, and 400 for PhD. Usually there would be more of a difference between these two, but I guess not in this instant. And you get medical health insurance. Hi there, no name person. I'll be with you in a second. There are no eligibility criteria for this one. Again, this is, by the way, like 250, maybe this is $300. You would have more, like you would need to have more than that. We have the deadlines here, and hang on, I've actually already opened that. So this is the one. I'm not sure why it's not loading the entirety of the page, but yeah. So this is the scholarship, departments of applications, accepting applications, admission periods. Hang on, it is here. Okay, so full coverage, national health insurance, a monthly stipend. Stipend depends on the research involvement. And to try and see the stipends, you can just click here on, like for College of Engineering, you can click on here, which actually gives you a lot of other information as well. Like we have the stipend here for mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering, like different engineering programs. We have the PhD fellowship information here, and then they give you monthly living expenses. Like it is kind of odd that only this department gives this information, and like you don't get this information from any other pages that the university has. I mean, I haven't seen any of those for any of these for other scholarships, health insurance, lodging. So total expense would be, if you're living on campus, it's for masters. Yes, it's for masters and PhDs and integrated ones. So it is about basically 1 million South Korean wons. Yeah, it's here. It was about, I guess the university is about like $700. Like your expenses is $700 estimation if you live on campus. I'm not sure if this. Yeah, okay, you have the lodging too. So yeah, I guess this is, so this scholarship, the scholarship, like, which means that the second scholarship we've seen today, which is the KAIST Global Presidential Scholarship, which gives you 1 million South Korean wons, would be able to cover your financial expenses completely. So yeah, this is the one. You get more information here: National Health Insurance, Student Health Insurance Association, dormitory, generously, like fees are generously low compared to other universities, blah blah blah. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. So we have seen 3. Is there any scholarships? So I'll see you in a second. And yeah, this is pretty much it for this scholarship as well. We've seen 3 scholarships, not that many, maybe, but like when you compare it to other universities, for example, there are a lot of universities in places like Australia and Canada that has dozens, literally dozens of scholarships, but it doesn't mean they are all very they're all very comprehensive, they're all very generous. Most of them are just partial, which is still, like, it's very generous that they give you any amount of financial aid. But like I'm trying to say that it's just, there are just 3 scholarships in this university, but pretty much all of them cover your tuition fees, and give you living expenses. Like 2 of them cover your like health insurance as well. So these are very, very, very generous scholarships, and it's a very good university in South Korea. Also, again, Like normally the amount that you would, hang on, let me do a little puzzle. Oh, I failed. Okay, that was embarrassing. So like it says about like $700. It's only because you are not. I will be with you in a second. $700. It is only because it's not in Seoul, because like Taichung is a much affordable place. Anyway, so the first person